I'm going to go back to the AI topic. And is this something, the cloning, we talked about the use case of promos. Is that use case something like, how expensive is that? Is that something that we're going to see happening on all different levels of the voiceover spectrum? Or is that, at least for now, going to be kind of limited to networks who have access to that level of the technology?
I see everyone doing it. I mean, it's the technology, depending on which technology you're using. If you're using text to speech or speech to speech or some variant form of that, it's there's software that's available to all of us to be able to do that. So it really just depends on how nuanced you want it to be. It'll be a little more sophisticated software, but and how quickly you want it to run the computation and get the files done. So, but making it sound alike is that technology's there right now. So it could be like, I know audiobooks they've been trying to get that done. I mean, I know that that's one of the areas where they're really trying to get that to be done by AI. Promos, but it's really everything. Commercials. I mean, it's really everything that I've heard. Um, Animation for sure. Films, ADR, definitely. Like all those areas, they can be done right now easily. So a lot of I know voice talent pros that are own their voices on their own, um, and they're not talking about it, but they've got cloned voices that are ready to go. So if you have that opportunity to get your voice cloned, I would take the opportunity because it's something you put in your back pocket for as things evolve. You're ready to go. You're ready to hit the ground running. It's kind of like when I broke in the business, the home studio was a luxury. It wasn't a necessity at the time. It was just starting out. So, but now, the home studio you need a home studio and you pretty much need Source Connect, which the only thing they had back when I was starting was like ISDN, and you didn't get ISDN lines because they cost $1 million. So no one had them. You had to go to studios. If you wanted to hook up to another studio, you'd have to find your local studio and go there. But I think the AI is kind of like, I equate that to the studios from when I started. It's pretty soon it's going to be like, you don't have a clone voice. What are you talking about? You don't have a home studio. That's the way that I'm seeing it. And we're in its infancy as far as usage goes now. We're not in infancy with technology because it took a long time for them to develop it. They've been developing AI voices, since like 2006, and I've been involved with it all that time. Because the original ones were like Siri were one of the original GPS. Those are the original AI voices. I did Bixby. I was the director for the Samsung Bixby voices. It was 2 months in the studio to record the Bixby voice, and now that's laughable. Like right now, they only need like 7 minutes of your voice to be able to do what we did in 2 months back then. So it's evolved. That's how far it's evolved since that time. So like the technology part's already here. That's like 20 years ago. So I would for me, instead of wasting energy on trying to fight back on it, use your energy to figure out how I'm going to cash in on it when it's gets to be top, like home studios, when it gets to get to that level, and it's very common. So, and plus the other thing I really think is cool about AI, and the reason why I have a clone voice too, I have one sitting there ready to go. But the reason why I think it's cool is because, like, when I pass away, my my family has my voice there. It's there. They can still use it, still make money off my voice. They can still, because that's one of the things that I have kids and I wanted to pass on a business to them, and I'm a lawyer and they don't want to be lawyers, but they can take my voice business and they can still take it after I pass away and use my cloned voice to do it. So I think that's cool. You can pass on your voice as a business to your kids when you're gone. So something that you can never do before, obviously. So
I think that's a really good point. Again, just looking at the positive aspects of it, it's something that's here. And so how can we responsibly capitalize on it or just, take advantage of it? Again, like you said, with the home studio thing. And I don't think that means running into, and I know this isn't what you're saying at all, running into, contracts without without reviewing the terms, without being aware of what's actually being said,
right.
but knowing what's being said and responsibly going in and being able to, yeah, like you said, responsibly capitalize on it.
Yeah. And the other thing that's important, the reason I said contracts are important is because you want to make sure that now there's no in perpetuity, no third party usages, only to be used for this project. Like that language you have to have in there, because before, for certain jobs it would be like, oh, it's in perp, no big deal. It's just going on the internet, whatever. But you can't do that anymore, because if it's in perp on the internet, that means it's free prey, and you don't want any free prey lying around. So you want to limit it as much as possible. Now, I mean, there's nothing you could do about it for stuff that you did before, but now we know about it, so it's something that we should be aware of and try to protect from for the future.